guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching, much appreciated. Um, Hopefully you subscribed. This is Basic Coding with Adam. What I try to do is simplify basic aspects of web development, particularly in JavaScript, React, Node.js, and sometimes PHP and HTML, etc. So if that sounds good, then please subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you find this video in any way helpful, even if you pick up one little detail, please leave a like. I would appreciate it very much. And also, if you have any future video requests, please leave those also in the comment below. Now, what we're going to do today is something that someone requested on one of my previous videos. It was actually my uh, React and WordPress API video, and I'll link that below. So they asked how to do pagination with React, because in that WordPress video that I'm talking about, we got posts from a WordPress site and displayed them in a React app. And in that video, I only had 3 dummy posts, but I guess obviously the whole point of React is to have, hundreds or thousands of posts, and you don't want hundreds and thousands of posts all showing up on one page, so you want pagination, which is just that. Basically, you have a small, like we have here, this is what we're going to be building. You have a small list of your posts, and then you have down here pages to show up. Okay, and then you click, and they go and so forth, and you can click, to go through them, go here, yada yada. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're only going to be using React. We're not going to be using anything else except for Axios. We're going to be using Axios to get our posts, which we are going to get from JSON placeholder. Because I don't feel like creating 100 dummy posts on my WordPress site. So we're going to get the posts from jsonplaceholder.typicode.com, which is basically a fake API system where they have all this data stored up, posts, comments, albums, etc. We're going to be getting posts because this is pretty similar to what you would have in terms of JSON data with your WordPress, although with WordPress there'd be a lot more information, but this is the main stuff of what you're looking for. Okay, so I didn't really do anything ahead of time, so we're going to be starting from scratch. So I'm going to come to my terminal. I'm going to make dir, make dir. I'm going to call this post react -app, and I'm going to cd into that post react app. And then I'm going to do yarn create react -app period to create it in this folder. I'm using yarn because npx doesn't want to work for me for some reason. I'm on Windows, so I guess maybe that has something to do with it. But either way, I'm going to create react app. And if this takes too long, I'll just cut it out. But we're just creating a basic boilerplate of React, and then we'll go through and clean some stuff up and then get right into it. So just bear with me here while Yarn does its job. Okay, guys, so we got that. We got everything installed. When you see this little happy hacking thing, you know that everything was successful. I'm going to type code period to open that folder in VS Code. Here it is. Close this welcome sign. We don't need that. First thing I'm going to do, just for good measure, is open a new terminal. I'm going to right click on terminal and move my terminal panel to the right because that's what I prefer. If you prefer it at the bottom, then leave it where it is. Things are running a little slow today, so bear with me, guys. I'm going to go through and delete the files that we don't need. Oops. Yeah, things are Running a little slow here today, guys. My apologies. Here, delete. I'm also going to go into this manifest.json file, which is not something we need, but I just delete it because it causes some errors because we're deleting all those icons. I'm going to go into the app CSS, just delete everything. This is our main app.js file. I'm going to delete that. Actually, I'll put an H4 in here for now. Now, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead. Don't need app test, don't need index CSS, don't need these. All definitely not what we need. I'm going to go into index.js. I'm going to get rid of this report web vitals. We don't need that. I'm going to get rid of this import, get rid of the CSS import. App.js is good. App.css is good. Index. You don't need to do this, but sometimes I like to do it because I am going to be adding Bootstrap just for the heck of it, just to make it look decent. React, pagination, whatever you say. I almost said banana. Tomato, whatever you guys say. I'm a little woozy today, guys. All right, so Bootstrap. I'm just going to use the Bootstrap CDN. Just to, you don't have to do this, but I mean, obviously, if you're using Bootstrap, but I just wanted to make it look a little decent for you guys so that we have some frame of reference. I'm going to put my Bootstrap CDN in here. Save all. Close my index. We don't need that anymore. Close my index HTML. App CSS. Close manifest JSON. And here I'm going to put my blog in that H4. And I'm going to change this to container, which is Bootstrap and margin-4. Save all. Let me stop this other production server for the example. I'm going to come here. Oh, you know what? I got to add one thing. I don't know if you guys are getting this. If you are, please let me know and we'll find a solution. But if you don't do this, create a .env file and do skip pre-flight check. I don't know if that's just me and I'm too dumb to figure out a solution, but if I don't create this .env file, I get an error when I run a new React project. So if you guys have the answer to that, let me know. I wasn't able to find stuff and I've been a little busy. So if you guys have a solution to it, by all means, let everybody know. All right. It is going. It is going. It is going. Oh, can't. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot this one thing. Where is it? App.js. Oh, gotta get rid of this because it's importing that which we don't have, which will give us an error. And refresh, and there we go. It says my blog. Okay, cool. So now we're ready to get started. So first thing we need to do is we need to bring in React into our main app.js file. Normally you don't, but in this case we're going to. And we're also going to bring in use state and use effect because this is going to be using hooks. And that is from React. Okay. Let's see. Oh, geez. Let me stop this server. I forgot to install Axio, so we're going to do npm I Axios. Do solemnly swear. No. Sorry, it's a little joke there. American joke. So we're just going to install Axios because we're going to do an API call, or rather an HTTP call to an API, sorry. An HTTP call to an API, which is that JSON placeholder .type code that I showed you, just so we have a large amount of of posts to siphon through for our thingy. Okay. Axios is loading, so just give it a second. Appreciate it, guys. I appreciate everyone who comes back week after week and watches my videos. I really appreciate it. And, I make these videos for you guys. I know when I first started out, I had trouble just figuring things out. And the only thing that helped me really was just watching as many videos as I can. And you pick up a little bit from each person. There's plenty of great tutorial web development channels out there. And, you just watch as much as you can without burning yourself out. And, you know, you just pick up a little piece here and a little piece there. And that's really, you know, uh, the most common way of learning. And I've been studying martial arts for over 15 years, and I found that that's also how you learn martial arts. You don't learn it all in, 3 months. You pick up a little bit here, a little bit there, but you keep going, you keep trying, and you keep putting an effort in. It's not always going to be great. It's not always going to be perfectly worked out, but you keep going. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit. Uh, don't get all teary-eyed on me. All right, we're still waiting for Axios. If you guys want, you can follow me on Twitter, Basic Coding with Adam. I try to post interesting articles and stuff that I find mostly React based, some Node.js, some WordPress. I try to post a variety of stuff just to put it out there. Um, Even if it's an older article, maybe somebody missed it and now they finally came into contact with it. Jeez, this freaking Axios takes a while. I guess I should have just done fetch. Um, Axios is taking forever. Uh, bu, 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 bu. You know what? While that's loading, we can get started. All right, so, okay, first thing we need to do is create some state. So first we're going to create a piece of state for our posts. That should be posts, and then set posts, not pots, posts, equals use state. And for right now, initially it's going to be set to an empty array. Okay. Let's also do const just for good measure. Loading, we're going to do a loading screen, set loading. Since this is technically a full project, use state. Now, keep in mind you can insert this pagination in any project that you have. You could use it for if you're getting JSON data from your WordPress site through the WordPress API. Any API you can do this to that you're getting posts from, or really anything that you have a large amount of. I would say if you had over 2,000 posts, I would say this is not the best method, but if you have a few, a few hundred posts, then go for it. But basically, you can use this exact same thing. It's just that you'll see in a minute our Axios API URL is the only thing that changes. So we have our loading. I'm going to set that to false. Now, what the heck? This jumps around. I'm going to set that to false by default. Okay. Let's create our use effect hook. Now this replaces our component did mount situation. Okay. And it's use effect. We're going to make this asynchronous, but you never want to make use effect directly like this, async, because it will error out. So, whoops. So we're going to create another function, const fetch, we'll call it fetch data, equals, now here's where you make the async call. Okay. Okay. And that's our thing. First thing we're going to do is set our loading to true. So as we're fetching the data, our set loading is true. Then after that, we're going to say let our response equal await, because we're going to await this process. So this finishes first before the component fully mounts. Otherwise, you won't see anything and you'll never get your information. Because your component will mount and then your information will come through. And your component won't remount until something changes, but it won't change because the information is technically already there. It's just that you missed your opportunity. It's like missing the bus. Okay, so we're ready for our API. Let me go back to that JSON placeholder. And this is free. You could use it as much as you want. Getting our posts, and we want this URL here. Copy. And then we're going to paste that directly in the app. Okay. Now, so we got our Axios get, and you can see our Axios finished. So we're all good. So actually, we should bring in Axios. Import Axios from Axios. Okay, good. So now that we have our information, we're going to set posts to our res, which is this, res.data, which is the actual data itself. If you just did res, it would be the entire, including headers and a bunch of other information we don't really need. So now that we have our data, we could set loading back to false because we're good now. We've got it. And that's it for our use effect. One thing we should do, of course, I'm sure you knew it, fetch data. We need to call our function, otherwise it won't work. Okay. And then here's another thing with use effect. So basically you have to, this process here happens when this component is mounted onto the browser. Okay. So once it happens, you don't need it to happen again unless it remounts. So we have to set it back to an empty array. So it goes from empty array to this, which is getting our information, setting our information, turning off loading, calling the function, of course, to do all that, and then setting it back to an empty array, because otherwise it would get stuck in an infinite loop, and that wouldn't be good. Okay, so now let's do this. We're gonna, let's see, what should we do next? Let's see. You know what? All right, let's start our logic for pagination. So here we're going to write some actual algorithmic logic to get the current posts, meaning, so when you see me on that, is it still up? No, sorry, it's not up. But anyway, you've seen when you were on those pages. Let me close this. So you saw the articles down here, and you seen down here was the pages. So we want to tell React which of those pages we want. So const, we'll call this, let's get the index of last post. Whoops, last post will equal current or cur page multiplied by our posts per page. Okay, so a little algorithmic. So, and actually we should do this up here. I forgot. So const, let's create some more state. This is our current page. This is how we'll get our current page. And then set set cur page, okay, equals use state. And we're going to set that to 1 because, of course, you always want it to start on the first page, which makes sense. Let's create another one, const posts per page. Oops, page, that should be camel case. And then that's it. We don't need a function on that. Equals use state, okay? And we'll set that to now, we'll set that to 5 for now. So post per page is going to be 5. Now you can change that to whatever you want, but for right now, we're going to set it to 5. Okay, so that should make this make a little more sense. So our current page, which is 1, or it could be 2 or whatever, multiplied by the amount on the page. So 2 times 5 is 10, whatever. This is how we're going to calculate it. Const. So, and now we need to get index of first post will be equal to, of course, index of, wow, I can't type. Index of last post minus our posts per page. Okay. And then const another one to get our current posts, meaning the posts that are supposed to be on that page. We're going to go by the state, this state right here, post, actually, sorry, posts dot slice, okay, index of the, where is it? Index of the first post, okay, and then we're going to pass in index of the last post. So we know where it's supposed to be. Now we got one more thing to do, then we can move on. Const paginate equals page number. So we're going to pass in page number. This is going to be a function. Set, this should be, what is it? Oh, set cur page. Okay, to the page number. Okay, so it should be capital P, camel case. Okay, so this is how we designate what page number we're on and what number of posts to show. Okay, cool. Now, what we need to do next, let's bring in, now we haven't created this yet, but we will, import posts, okay, from dot slash components slash posts. Okay, actually, let's create that now. So inside the source folder, I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to create a folder called components. Then inside that, I'm going to create a file called capital P posts.js. Now I have this extension installed called ES7 GraphQL blah 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 snippets, which is very helpful and allows me to do things like type RAF, and I get RAFCE, which is React Functional Component. Hit enter, and there we go. Okay, let's go back to app.js. Let's bring that in. So we got it in here. I'm going to put it right under here, posts slash, and then just close it off. Now, since we got all of our API data in our app.js component, we then need to pass it to this posts component as props. So posts is the name of the props. That could be anything you want. And what we want to post, what we want to pass in there is our current posts, right? Because we don't want all of them. We want only the ones that we're on, which is here, excuse me. Okay. And also we need to pass in loading equals loading. This is the name of the prop that we're going to bring in. This is what we're actually passing in as prop. Okay. So this could be whatever you want. This has to be the data. Okay. Okay. So let's create our post. What am I saying? Component now. Okay. So in here, we need to bring in our posts, which is the current post, and our loading. Okay. Cool. Cool. You know what? If you watched my last video, which I will link in the description, React functional components, you'll know that you can create a function that displays something and then use it elsewhere. So const, we'll call this loading component, I guess, loading comp equals a function, arrow function, and we'll return, let's do an h4 dot primary. I don't know. It doesn't, I'm sorry. Yeah, dot primary. I think that's what it is for Bootstrap, and we'll just say loading dot dot dot, right? Ellipses, that's called. Did you know that? I didn't, and I bet you didn't either. Okay, const, so results, this is where we're actually going to display our stuff. So we take our post prop that we brought in up here, and we're going to map through this array, dot map, oops, dot map, okay? And we'll call each one post. And then we're going to open parentheses, not curly brackets, and we'll do a div, I guess div.container, and I have Emmet installed, which allows me to do div dot, and then whatever the name of the class name is. Okay. Let's see, and then we'll do an h5, and we'll put in there our post.id. We're working off of this variable because each individual one is now a post. Let's see, and we'll do article, which if you watched my all HTML tags in a single video, which I will link in the description, I go over every single HTML tag in one video. There's a lot of interesting ones that I bet you didn't know about, so go check that out after this video, mind you. We're going to put our post.body in there, and just for good measure, I'm going to put an HR tag, which basically just creates a line so we can see some delineation. Now for our display, I am going to give this a class name of container, which is a Bootstrap class name, which just moves everything in the center, just centers everything automatically. So I need to open up a JSS expression because we're going to be doing a ternary operator. Okay, so if loading is true, then we want to show our loading comp function. We want to load that function. Else, which is a colon, we want to show our results. Okay. That's it, bruh. Let's see. Now it's going to give us some errors and stuff because we haven't done everything. But let's see what we do get. You know, we haven't taken care of everything yet, so it'll probably give us a few errors. I'm sure. Hey, it's starting the development server. Yeah, set current page is not defined. That's fine. In app.js, let me just check that out. Where am I at? Set current page. Set. Oh, I did. Okay. Boy, I can't do camel case tonight. Okay, paginate is assigned a value but never used. That's fine. We will soon. All in all, though, not too bad. And look, you can see we have only 5 posts. So we're not all the way there yet, but we're getting close. But remember, 5 is what we post per page. If you change this to 10, we'll still get some warnings, but that's okay. Now we have 10. Okay. But I'm going to change this back to 5. Here's a random thing, guys. Listen, if you're still watching to this point and you want me to start a Patreon, please let me know. I had never planned on starting a Patreon. It wasn't what I didn't want to beg for money, but so people were asking me, which believe me, I'm completely flattered by. But if more people ask for it, then I might do it. So if you feel that way, let me know in the comments, or let me know on Twitter, Basic Coding with Adam. And I'll start one, guys. And believe me, I'm completely flattered that you would ask that. So by all means, thank you. Uh, but anyway, back to this. Okay, so we got, excuse me, 10. Let's just save that again. Looky here. Great. All right, now, of course, we haven't created our pagination yet, our actual component. So let's do that now. So inside the components folder, we're going to create a new file called pagination. Imagine. Anyway. All right, so we need our standard RAF to create a React functional component. Okay. Now, we need to actually, let's go back to our app.js file. And under posts, let's import pagination from quotes dot slash components slash pagination. And let's come down here and under posts, let's do pagination, close it off. Now we need to pass some things into pagination. What might those be, Adam? Well, let me tell you, friend. Space, put this down on the next line because we got 3 things. So we need to pass in our posts per page, okay, which is equal to, yep, you guessed it, posts per page. Okay, so we're passing that as a prop. Another one is our total posts. It's going to be equal to, this is a little different, our posts dot length, which is obviously our total amount of our array, which is right here. So once we set it in use effect, set post is now an array, and we're just getting the length of it. Okay. Last one is paginate equals this paginate function, okay, which is the page number that we're currently on, set current page to the page number. Okay, that's it. That's all we need to pass in. So let's go to pagination, okay, and let's bring those 3 things in. Where are we? Here we are. Let's bring those 3 things in. Posts per page. I should have given these a shorter title. Total posts and paginate. Okay, good. Now, let's see. Initially, we're going to set, this is where we deal with our page number. Const page number is equal to an empty array. Okay, so we're just initializing it as an empty array. Am I doing? Oh, I put it in the return. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It goes above the return. Sorry about that. Now, what should we do next? Let's create our actual design for our pagination. Okay, just to get that out of the way. So inside our div, I'm going to create a nav, which is a basic HTML. I'm sorry, bootstrap element. I'm going to create an unordered list with a class name of Pagination, which is again bootstrap. That's not anything that I did in the CSS file. Now, inside of our unordered list, we need to do a map, another high order array method, which is .map. We're going to map through the array of page numbers. Okay, so page number .map. Okay, then we'll give it a number. Each individual one is a number. Open up a second parentheses, and inside of this, we're going to do list. I'm sorry, just li with a class name of page dash item. Okay, and actually also this needs a key. Otherwise, it needs a unique key. Otherwise, it's going to give us an error or a warning actually. So I'm going to assign it the number because that's unique. All right, inside that, let's do an A tag. Let's do a link. No, that's not what it is. Sorry. Good, href. This is not a link, but it will act like a link. So you do exclamation point hashtag. Let's see. And we'll give it a class name of page dash link, which is all bootstrap, by the way. I'm not using any custom CSS stuff in here. It's all bootstrap just to be nice. And then we're going to pass in the number into the link so that we can click each pagination square. Okay. Which also, by the way, means that let's put this href down on a new line. Let's put this class name down on a new line. Let's put this closing arrow on a new line, and let's give it an on-click event. Oops, on-click in React, of course, equals a function, callback function, which is paginate, and we're going to pass it in the number that it's currently on. Okay. All right, now, excuse me. So in order to get the page number that we're currently on, we have to do a for loop. You don't have to, but it's probably the best. Let I equal 1, not 0, starting at 1, 1. So I, as long as I is less than or equal to, now we got to do a little bit of math here because it's not exact. So we have to find out where we're at by the total number of posts, by the amount of posts per page that we're setting. Remember that in app.js we set the amount of posts per page. So we have to find out where exactly we're at, and the way to do that is through the math thing, and we're going to round it up to a whole number, which it should be anyway, but you got to do that anyway. So total posts, that's where our total post comes into play, divided by posts per page, okay? And that will give us our current page number. And then, of course, we want to increment I++. Okay. Then, with that information, we're going to set the page number dot push to the array of page number the iteration. Okay, and that's how we get our page number. Now, I'll be honest, guys, I think that's all we need to do, and we should be in business. See if we get any warnings. Compiled successfully. I think that might be it, guys. Let's refresh just to be sure. Let's go here. 6, 11, there, bing, bing, bing. Let's go all the way to 20. There you go, number 100. Okay. Listen, guys, that is it. And the good part about this is that you can take this, you can copy. I'll put this on my GitHub for you guys. You can put this in any project And this basically is the only thing you need to change. Okay. So whatever API, so this could be your WordPress API, it could be any API you want, basically, as long as the information is similar. You might have to change a few of the, of this stuff, post.body or whatever, but basically you can use this anywhere for anything, basically. Um, yeah, that's it, guys. So that is how to add pagination to a React app. I hope you got something out of this, guys. If you did, let me know in the comments below. If you didn't and you'd like to see me cover something else, please also leave a comment. And again, if you found the video helpful, please leave a like and please consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, please turn on the bell notification. That's it, guys. Please enjoy the rest of your day and take care of yourself and each other. Okay? Bye.